right, so it looks like we are going to get Lee Sin here to start versus Twiz. So two pretty prominent decks that we see everywhere. You just mentioned plenty of play. Would you say 25 players played Twisted Fate in the NA seasonal, right?
Oh, that's what it was. Okay, I screwed. I think I screwed this up. All right, so I thought that, as I had mentioned earlier, it's really hard to tell some of the pictures. I thought BBoom Teemo was playing a black market merchant, but it could have actually been this Fortune Croaker. I know Mawile is playing a Fortune Croaker, unless it looks like, no, did they get the names wrong?
Yeah, they did. I just did a double take. Okay. They just switched it. I was like, whoa, what's going on?
So if I'm correct, yeah, okay, Mawile is on the top. Never mind, I didn't screw anything up. Mawile, I knew was playing a Fortune Croaker. Have that on the deck list. Ooh.
We're good. We're good. See, it's them. It's, you know, this is what happens when I don't do production, Boulevard. Actually, they probably have a better internet connection though, so.
Oh, the duality of production.
I hate it.
I gotta say, man, I had Riot production the last 2 weeks, or Wisdom production rather, the last 2 weeks, and I was like, and now I gotta go back to my old busted ass SJW.
Wow, thanks Boulevard, thanks a lot. Jesus, I'm just gonna go cry in a corner now. Done, I quit. All right, we are not quitting drawing though on the side of Mawile. Gonna get that pick a card off real quick there. And I'm glad to see that during the Asian seasonal, they had to reload the second hand. I feel like they know our plight, Boulevard.
Yeah, they will learn the hard way. They will be forged in fire like we have, my dear friend. But we're going to be able to get a silence down onto this Ballistic Bot, effectively take it off the table. But, I mean, Lee Sin doesn't handle Twisted Fate very well, and the draw train has already started for Mawile. We saw the pick a card go off this turn. I don't think there was any removal added to this, unless you Spell Thief a Mystic Shot.
Yeah, Spell Thief. With Spell Thief, anything is possible, Boulevard.
I hate that. Less things should be possible.
And what's also possible is a super cool star chart looking to come down the pipe here from this Zoe. So we'll see how Mawile decides to deal with it, if at all. Looks like we're going to dig a little bit, see if we can get it off the board faster rather than
I mean, I guess we can red card it.
Or we can red card.
Do it.
Yep, never mind. Here I was thinking it would take more to level up a Twisted Fate, but this is Twiz, Boulevard.
This is the signature SJW, the level or the turn 5 Twisted Fate.
Yeah, you nailed it.
This sucks, man.
It's really the only way to put it. Yeah.
I didn't expect us to stop there. I thought we might go for the red card.
Yeah.
But we didn't.
That does seem a little bit odd, because we have plenty in... Actually, yeah, we can even play the stress testing. Remove this... That seems like a... all right, well, I guess it doesn't matter. We would have not removed the Zoe anyways, but why not play the stress testing there?
I mean, I definitely imagine that you're going to play the stress testing at some point,
yeah.
And it would have been nice to just force something out of your opponent at the very least. I mean, double red card does still theoretically clear this board, but also not really. You're going to be able to red card again next turn. With the blue card mana gives us the mana for the...
Gotcha.
That makes more sense.
Okay, and then now we're going to draw even more cards.
The delayed hand was kind of screwing with me a little bit there, so I do apologize for misrepresenting that game state. But pick a card, total sense. I mean, we're still going to be able to red card this Zoe again next turn. Butterfly probably going to survive just because the Veiled Temple is still there. Still a lot of cheap spells on the side of BBoom Teemo. But I got to say, Mawile is looking really good here for game number 1.
Yeah, this is, I mean, really good's got to be an understatement, Boulevard. When you level up Twisted Fate on turn 5, I think you're pretty much set. That's the dream.
You level TF on 5, you pick a card on 5, and you're gonna pick a card again on 6.
And this is the thing with this deck too. We talked about it earlier. When you get where there's one pick a card, there's likely like 5 others. So you get the 1, you draw the 3, you probably draw into a rummage or even another pick a card, and you just keep the train rolling. And that's exactly what we're seeing here from Mawile. We got plenty of fleeting cards in hand still. We got plenty of ways to utilize those fleeting cards. And at this point, it's looking like it's going to be a pretty easy game 1 here from Mawile, but we'll see if BBoom has something else to say about it. You know what's disappointing this whole time we've watched BBoom?
What's so disappointing, SJW?
BBoom's actually not playing Teemo. Would have been nice for BBoom Teemo to play Teemo. Just saying.
Yeah, Boom wanted to win the tournament though.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, it's sometimes you have.
And we are back with the red card getting procced for level 2 Twisted Fate. And Zoe finally going to get taken off the board.
I am trying to envision a world where BBoom Teemo actually comes ahead in this game, because we did see, you know, a pretty quick comeback in the previous set against DK. But even now, as long as there's a level Twisted Fate out, Lee Sin is vulnerable to the gold card, and I think you're going to have a pretty tough time actually, you know, killing your opponent.
All right, so Zenith Blade going to get played onto the Sparkle Fly here. Yeah, my ISP does, in fact, have it in for me. Oh, all right. Zenith Blade going to come out, and that is going to prompt the pick a card from Mawile here, which is actually going to pick off the Sparkle Fly with the gold card. So we're going to have to, go ahead and play the Bastion. And it looks like BBoom just kind of resigned to pillaring on the Sparkle Fly for the time being, since we have not drawn a Lee Sin.
Yeah, and that's so unlikely to work out because, you know, as we had just mentioned, there is a level Twisted Fate on board. The gold cards are not going to stop coming anytime soon. This is going to be a consistent thing happening out of Mawile. And we still have the deny for one more gold card, but, you know, we're probably going to need to deny offensive and defensive gold cards because we are only sitting on the one unit. And I cannot see BBoom Teemo really coming back into this. Even if we get the Lee Sin off the top, you know, we don't have a way to stop the gold card, at least with the mana that we'll have available. We don't have a Zenith Blade to give it overwhelm. There's just too many pieces of the puzzle missing for BBoom Teemo, and too short amount of time to get back into it. And yeah, we actually see him rearrange the blocks here just to maximize the amount of lifesteal that's going to be available. And yeah, might as well suit up the... Yeah, going to put this back into range of dying to the gold card. Red card, you know, normally would do it, but there are 2 Veiled Temple on the field, so I think the red-gold combo is going to have to come back out.
Yeah, we do have to take into account those Veiled Temples, and those sneak up on you in a lot of different ways, too, so it's actually very smart from Mawile to go ahead and recognize that, having to invest that suit up to get rid of the Sparkle Fly. And yeah, here it is. Here is the 9/3 Sparkle Fly. This would, again, theoretically die to the red and gold card, so we'll see if we go ahead and get that from Mawile. We do have... I mean, we have another pick a card, which, again, we just keep that pick a card train rolling. We can draw 3. That's going to prompt one of the cards out. Looks like we are going to go with the suit up. The suit up actually alone just guarantees the kill onto the Sparkle Fly, regardless of if the red gold does not hit here, or for some reason, you know, there's like a Pale Cascade or something from BBoom that actually saves the Sparkle Fly. The deny onto the gold card, though, going to at least make sure that we get the kill onto the 4/4 Daring Poro now.
Yeah, so it looks like BBoom's game plan at the moment, because this is 7 damage going through, is going to be to try and finish the game with the Charger that has been buffed up by both Veiled Temple and concussive palming the blocker, all while still finding a way to get through the gold card. Which, not impossible. No, it's sounding pretty impossible.
Yeah, I'm not liking that line, Boulevard.
It's a path to victory, although based on the way, based on the way that Mawile just drew off this pick card, I think the game ends this turn, SJW.
Yeah.
Actually, going in for the open, I think you need to iterative a Burblefish if you're going to find lethal this turn.
That's 11 on board. Iterative on a Burblefish is going to be 15. Yeah, and then you have the Mystic and Get Excited.
You have Fizz's Playful Trickster anyway, so barring a deny, I think you've got lethal no matter what.
Yeah, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we actually have enough for Playful Trickster and Get Excited and Mystic Shot, so I think that's probably... well, no, because if the Playful Trickster gets denied at that point, then you're actually outside of range of lethal, right?
Yeah, which is why I kind of like going for the iterative onto the Burble first.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. And the iterative onto the Burble also still leaves 7 mana open for Mind Meld. Not that BBoom's probably not going to go down below deny mana. I don't imagine Mind Meld's actually going to, ever go off this game. But, it still just seems like the right line of play here. But looks like we are going with the iterative, and we're going to follow it up with the Mystic Shot now. Yep. Also get the red card.
Hand space.
Yep. Yeah, with this blue card going off, that is going to be an additional draw here. It's going to give us 1 mana back as well. So we're sitting on 6 now. Do not have enough for Playful Trickster and Get Excited, and I don't see a way to get that. Oh man, we have 2 Playful Trickster in hand now too.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a deny out of Mawile or out of BBoom Teemo though, so this Playful Trickster will just end up being lethal, I think.
Yeah, we're only 2 off of technically we could just Get Excited as well. But yeah, I don't see any reason to not just going for the Playful Trickster. Well, actually, no. So now we don't have lethal with Get Excited because of the Charger summon.
Hold on. Does BBoom Teemo win?
Because of Dragon's Rage?
Yeah, I was gonna say if Mawile goes for the proactive Playful Trickster, then I think going down to 2 mana actually means that BBoom Teemo would just win with the Dragon's Rage, but Mawile not playing the proactive Playful Trickster, instead gonna wait for BBoom Teemo to line up blocks, which is the proper way to do it.
Yep.
So, BBoom Teemo, if they didn't go for the Concussive Palm, if they had gone for the block instead into the forcing of the Playful Trickster, might have actually found it.
Possibly. Well, actually, no, because then if Mawile were to attack again, that's just lethal now, right? We don't even have the mana for Dragon's Rage.
Yeah, I'm saying if you didn't Concussive Palm.
Oh, then
if you had lined up a block instead and waited for the Playful Trickster.
Okay, gotcha. You would have had the 8 mana. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there wouldn't have been a... No. There would have been Get Excited.
There's only 2 mana.
There would have only been 2 mana.
Yeah, so did BBoom Teemo actually have lethal here?
BBoom had a line, yeah. We had a line for lethal.
That's insane.
And therein lies why we're seeing one of Dragon's Rage in these decks, because of the off attack token lethal. Because Mawile's not expecting that. No way.
No, but apparently BBoom Teemo wasn't expecting it either.
I guess, yeah, that's the drawback, I guess, right? I mean, you can't really... I guess that's with perfect information, though, right? I mean, you didn't know that there was a Playful Trickster
coming. You were just trying to preserve as much life as possible.
And honestly, think about, we're talking about 2 cards that don't see a lot of play, Boulevard. Playful Trickster and Dragon's Rage. So it's not like they're at the top of mind by any means. Like, I'm sure they're thinking of them. These are very great players, but they're just not cards you're usually thinking about on a day-to-day basis. Playful Trickster probably more so now than ever because of Fizz, but...
Yeah. Although, I mean, that said, I don't think Mawile actually gets to win this turn.
3, yeah, because of the additional unit that's summoned. 1, 2.
Yeah.
That's 1.
But we don't have Dragon's Rage. Oh, actually, do we have Dragon's Rage lethal next turn? Because this Get Excited is going to get discarded. And 3. The Veiled Temples put the Charger to 5 HP. Do we die to red card?
Yes, we could also technically. Yeah, okay. So BBoom's gonna win, or is gonna live here, but we could also technically like counterfeit copies Get Excited into the deck to try to draw into lethal on the stack. Which I think, honestly, knowing that there's a Dragon's Rage in hand from BBoom, we might need to do that. You have to be, at this point, Mawile has to have multiple ways to deal that 1 damage to be the last person to act on the stack next turn. Wow, if this gets pulled out with a Dragon's Rage, I'm going to be...
It's not out of the question, but I do think BBoom Teemo needs to top deck exactly Guiding Touch. Or Deny, actually, would do it as well. Draws neither.
There's a Get Excited, though.
And yeah, there's a Get Excited, so...
Yep, and there's the Hush.
We even had... So, like, we had it. We actually had it, if not for this Get Excited top deck, SJW.
Oh, wait. Hold on, we're going in for the attack first.
Oh, we have
Nopify for the Get Excited.
Are you kidding me?
And we have
Did he really turn this around?
Oh my god. No, especially, we even had the proactive Hush. We had... Alright, wow, BBoom. Wow. Proactive Hush to avoid the red card. Now we have a Nopify to prevent this Get Excited. And actually, this is exactly lethal. Yeah, just right there on the attack. We don't even need the Dragon's Rage.
Man, I wanted to see Dragon's Rage.
So did I, I'm not going to lie.
What in the world was that game, though?
Wow. That's insane at the end there. That Dragon's Rage actually had that had the game on multiple occasions. Not only that, we came down to Playful Trickster and Dragon's Rage is what we were talking about for both players ending the game. That's crazy.
And to think they changed Lee Sin so Dragon's Rage wasn't the spell anymore. Oh yeah, Sonic Wave Resonating Strike is better. Pish posh, I say.
Yeah.
And so says UCG BBoom Teemo, still throwing it in the deck.
So now we want Dragon's Rage to be Lee Sin's champion spell again. Okay, all right. I'll let Ryan know you said that.
No. If Ryan's gonna listen to me on anything and it's that, I'm gonna
pretty pissed off.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that said, all right, that's BBoom taking game 1. So let's go ahead and see who's able to get game 2 here. If Mawile is going to be able to take it to game 3, let's head on in. All right, so getting a quick start here. Both players passing turn 1. We got Sky Shadows in hand for BBoom. So this is going to be the Invoke deck that we saw a little bit earlier. And we're going to get Twiz again out of Mawile. So, I mean, I got to say too, listen, last game, we talked about a Boulevard. Mawile had one of the better starts with a turn 5 leveled up Twisted Fate and still wasn't able to pull it out. We don't see Twisted Fate in the early hand of Mawile just yet, but I don't know. This does look like pretty okay start for both players. I wouldn't give either one the advantage here.
I would give Mawile the advantage just by virtue of being the one who's playing Twisted
by being
Fate
Twiz, yeah.
Which I actually wanted to touch on. I think that for the most part, BBoom Teemo has been banning that deck. But since there is scouts in the lineup of Mawile, I think that we were just a little bit more afraid of that and said our decks probably have a better shot at beating TFs than they do scouts and went that ban strategy instead.
Yeah, well, Dustbringer off the top here. Also got the Meteor Shower early as well, which could be potentially an early answer to Twisted Fate. I think that's why we're seeing BBoom pass here, just in case Mawile does decide to get the turn 4 Twisted Fate down. We see that that's not the case. So we could, I don't know, we could have Iterative Improvement on the Ballistic bot here would be not bad. Always feels good getting multiple ignitions off. We have the Poro Cannon. We can actually use to discard the ignition that's in hand, get some of those elusive units going on early here, and pick a card. But we're probably going to want to save that pick a card for a little bit later when TF does finally come off the top. Taking time to decide here, too, from a while. I mean, personally, I like the iterative onto something like Ballistic Bot, especially with Rummage in hand and Poro Cannon. You know, just getting those additional copies of discard fodder with the ignitions. You know, always feels a little bit bad not using those iterative improvements onto something like Burblefish. That is, you know, the ultimate goal to get multiple 4/2 elusives on board. And wow, all right, we are actually going to go with the pick a card now, carrying that 3 spell mana into next turn. I'm not in love with that play.
I probably would have done it. I think that Mawile needs to try and be the aggressor in a matchup like this, especially now that BBoom Teemo has down the Veiled Temple on 4. I think if both players had just passed, Mawile probably would have gone for the pick card in response to the Temple anyway, and just saying, hey, you know, I need to be the one that is throwing down units as soon as possible. Nothing in my deck is likely to get discarded outside of exactly a Mind Meld, because even if I draw like all 3 of my Twisted Fates, I can just play one and then TF's pick a card, the other one back into the deck and have a great time. So I think this was a really reasonable line on the side of Mawile, because right now your board is looking really mediocre, and you just kind of need to get down more things. I am surprised to see the bot block over the Betty Croaker, though.
Yeah, not valuing keeping that bot on field, unfortunately. And wow, 2 pick-a-cards fleeting off of that.
Well,
all right.
I mentioned 3 Twisted Fate turning into 2 pick-a-cards, but I guess just the other 2 pick-a-cards is reasonable as well.
Yeah, it's something to note, too, with Mawile, because you mentioned Mind Meld, if we drew that, obviously not being able to play it. Or we could, technically, but just wouldn't be good. There's only 1 copy in Mawile's deck, and that is something that we've generally seen a lot of, people playing 1. I know, was it the NA seasonal, though? There was a lot of people that started playing 2 copies of it, finally.
Not a lot of people, but the winner Majin
That's
Bay
right,
did
Majin
play 2
played
copies, and I believe Petish from Europe also played 2 copies.
Yes, okay, that's what it was. I remember some of the players were starting to bring 2 copies again, and we saw that in early iterations of Twiz. And I don't know. I mean, there's something to be said about that, having to worry about that second mind meld, especially when you do draw it early, fleeting, or just early in general, and you have to discard it. So again, just a little bit of a risk there with that pick a card, but not drawing it. Instead, just drawing more draw as per usual with Twiz. But Aphelios coming down now alongside Veiled Temple for BBoom. Very, very nice pickup here.
I mean, Mawile can kill this though.
Yeah, get excited. I mean, do you just snap get excited here to get Aphelios off the board? Looks like, yeah.
I would imagine. I'm a little curious as to what we're discarding. It might be Poro Cannon, and I know that usually we talk about like, you know, like if you're gonna rummage Poro Cannon, then you always rummage the other discard target. But right now, if you're gonna do it, you don't actually have a thing like another card to discard because Poro Cannon is the discard target. And I would imagine that's what it's gonna be since the Veiled Temple proc has already been used, and yeah, there goes the Poro Cannon.
Yeah, and get excited. I mean, this still I feel like feels okay for BBoom though, because you're getting resources out of Mawile, and I mean, we can see Mawile's hand too. Not great as of now, but
that's where the pick a card comes
in.
And
there's the mind meld off that pick a card that we were talking about.
We do have a stress testing in hand if we care that much, and honestly, it's so rough because you did just discard your Poro Cannon, and that is one of your best combo cards for this mind meld. But because this is not, you know, Bilgewater Aphelios, we don't have to worry about Boxtopus, and instead we do get down our Twisted Fate, but that is going to walk right into this Meteor Shower.
Yeah, we've been sitting on it for a little while now. Also going to push some aggression.
This is bad for... Oh, no.
Are we?
Okay, so if you are expecting exactly Meteor Shower, what you could do here is only block with your Fortune Croaker, and then no matter what, you have to target Fizz with the Meteor Shower, and Mawile can just negate
it. Negates the entire spell. Yeah,
but
wow.
I mean, it's reasonable that that's not like that would be a very specific scenario to be playing around. I mean, you'd feel kind of goofy if you actually did go for that. Yeah, I'm going to hold back my Fizz to play around the Meteor Shower, and then a falling comet just comes down onto your Twisted Fate.
Yeah, well, we do have Meteor Shower still. Yeah, it looks like we are just going to use it on the one card, which, I mean, we've seen this time and time again. You got to get Twisted Fate off the field ASAP so it does not level. So, Mawile, you know, last game had the turn 5 Twisted Fate. This game doesn't look like we're going to be lucky enough. Cannot level it in response to this even. But we are going to use the pick a card to continue that draw going into next turn. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's weird. Like, I'm liking BBoom's position, but Mawile still, like, we're getting options to hit the board, and then we're just drawing more. We're just doing it all. Like, but I mean, every turn, BBoom's dealing with what Mawile's doing.
Yeah, but eventually Mawile just buries them in resources, right? I mean, and now looking at the hand of BBoom Teemo, we have nothing. Yeah. We have absolutely nothing.
Yeah, that 2 Hush actually, I mean, generally Hush, pretty good card. Right now, feeling like dead weight in hand.
This is the part where the other shoe drops, where we've got the double Burble, both at 0 mana. We've got the 2 iterative improvement in hand. We've even got Rummage for, you know, discarding some of the other things in hand. But looks like BBoom Teemo says, you know what? That pick a card was really cool. I'd like to try that for myself.
Honestly, not a bad choice here. Especially, you know, we have this Dusk Petal Dust that's really not going to do much. Rummage kind of does a similar thing, I guess.
It's more immediate for sure.
Yeah, but either way, you know, you just mentioned Mawile probably going to bury BBoom in card advantage, right? This prevents that, at least for a couple turns anyways. At the end of the day, Mawile still has far more draw power, so I'm not sure how much that Rummage will actually do, but if we find that one card we need, who knows? Like, another Aphelios would be pretty timely right about now, as we would be able to protect it.
What are we looking at here? I should be like 14 damage.
Yeah, this is. We might not even be able to make it to Aphelios with how many Burblefish are about to come down. We even have 2 more Daring Poros to get in there.
I think that was counterfeit copies onto the Burblefish as well. Yeah. So stress testing off the Burble. Wow, and that's one of the great things about this list, and I actually noticed this a lot over the weekend in Aphelios Bilgewater specifically. One of the great things about Burblefish is there are a lot of really good 1-mana Targon spells, like Spell Thief.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, just in general with this deck, I feel like a lot of the 1-mana spells are relevant, right? Like, they do a lot. Stress testing, a perfect example there. Even counterfeit copies finally is not bad, right? It's shuffling a bunch of Burblefish doesn't feel like a terrible option.
We're not going to put it in the main deck, but we're certainly happy to grab it off the Burble.
Whoa. Don't hate on counterfeit copies, all right? If we want to main deck it, we're going to main deck it, all right, Boulevard?
Yeah, you look me in the eye, tell me you're main decking counterfeit copies in anything.
I did. I was trying a Legion Marauder deck one day, okay? It didn't.
Now you can try that again. When Empires of Ascended drops tomorrow, March 3rd, and you get the cool new
Legion Marauder card, yeah.
Summon 2 Marauders.
Always wanted that deck to be a thing. It'll happen one day, hopefully.
I hope not.
I hope not too. Oh man, so yeah, not nearly as much damage as we were thinking, but we have a destroyer now on the side of BBoom, which is a problem. It doesn't look like it's going to represent lethal this turn, but I guess the real issue is it doesn't look like Mawile is going to be able to end the game anytime soon either, especially with Star Shaping, and we know Mind Meld is no longer a concern because it was discarded.
Yeah, we've got another Hush to deal with another Burble. We've got even a little bit of Invoke that we can get back down. And as you had mentioned, this is going to be a big hit. It's not going to quite be a setup for lethal hit because I imagine the Pool Shark just gets thrown out as a chump blocker here. But actually, I don't see Mawile trading a Burble for this Solari Priestess, and that means we're in atrocity range. And I think that Mawile needs to do something. Yeah, there we see the jury rig because... You know, Mawile, you're in the finals of a seasonal tournament. You can't... This is not the time to be playing fast and loose around Atrocity.
Yeah, you almost certainly have to play around that, especially now that you're seeing some of these big old Celestials hit the board like Destroyer. But even so, I mean, this is still 6 damage. And putting Mawile at 10 with a deck that, again, doesn't have heal, that's still pretty dangerous because we're not killing BBoom. Or sorry, yeah, we're not killing BBoom anytime soon. But Moonlight Affliction... that could be a pretty big pickup.
Yeah, I mean, BBoom's going to be able to get down the Lunari Priestess if they want this turn, then have 2 blockers available thanks to the Moonlight Affliction. I mean, BBoom Teemo is then pushing through 8 damage at absolute most. But instead we rummage. I think we're just looking for the Atrocity.
Yeah, I mean, we could have held on to that rummage. I'm not sure if I like that rummage there either. I mean, I feel like getting that additional Invoke and the additional blocker with that Moonlight Affliction would have been far better. Now we actually risk... Well, I guess, knowing there's no Mind Meld, I guess we're not actually risking death. I mean, these are, at the end of the day, just a bunch of dinky units, and we have more heal in hand.
Yeah. And Mawile's just going in for the full attack rather than playing the Burbles, saying you've probably got a way to take out at least a couple of these, and that never mind, we're just going all in, put our foot on the gas, and it looks like that's actually a 4-2 Burble that was iterative and then pick a carded away. Or no, it was counterfeit copies as a 4-2. That makes more sense.
There is a pretty ridiculous amount of ways for BBoom to deal with all these elusive units in hand.
Yeah.
That feels really bad for Mawile. And again, like to your point earlier, it seems like Mawile is burying BBoom in card advantage. Like you can see the hand, you can see the field. There's a ridiculous amount of cards on Mawile's side of the field. But the responses that BBoom does have deal with all of them. And when you take away all the elusive units, what's left? Not a whole lot.
Not only that, but if I'm doing my math right, Mawile actually has to win the game this turn, or the Destroyer kills them next turn. Actually, doesn't quite kill them as long as they can get down the Ballistic Bot, but you're going to need something with 3 health in order to stop the Destroyer from one-shotting you because, you know, assuming the Veiled Temple proc again on the following turn. But if you do play out the Ballistic, you know, there is a chance that BBoom just goes for this second Veiled Temple, gets this up to a 12 attack Destroyer, and pushes through the lethal regardless. Things not looking really out of the woods for either player because Mawile's still going to be able to go for that pick a card, try to find enough burn to, you know, get rid of BBoom Teemo, but with that Star Shaping in hand, I don't know if you can actually find enough to deal 12.
Yeah, and I want to revisit what I mentioned earlier too, Boulevard, about only one Mind Meld. That is coming in really big here. The fact that we lost that Mind Meld early on is severely hurting Mawile now. There actually is not a way to win in one turn. We have to just go wide with elusives and hope that we can continuously push enough damage.
I mean, I thought that 6 Burblefish was going to be enough. I didn't really expect 3 silences if I'm Mawile, so you were like, yeah, this is a really safe line, right? Oh no, look, there's 3 silences coming out of my opponent. Who could have seen that coming? Certainly not Mawile, who is not yet the Asia seasonal champion, not yet able to tie up the series 1-1 and take us to a game 3. And, you know, things looking pretty good for BBoom Teemo. We still have this meteor shower and actually pushing damage onto our own unit.
That
are we just...
We can't kill this destroyer, right?
We are currently hoping to draw enough burn to kill the destroyer.
That's a pretty desperate... I mean, one's an MK1, so that's not impossible.
And that we are guaranteed to draw MK2 next turn.
Yeah,
because we played
yeah.
We have the Mystic Shot, so all we need is 1 unknown point of damage to come out of the top 3
of
the
shaping.
4. All right, not sure where I cut out, but basically what I was saying is we need to find 1 unknown point of damage to get around the Veiled Temple. And we did not find it.
We also have star shaping.
I mean, I know that there's star shaping, but like in Mawile's mind, you know, this is what you need to do. But I mean, Suit Up is going to save us a bit of HP.
Yeah, that will prevent lethal.
And now things are actually a little scary for BBoom Teemo because we need to star shaping the destroyer in order to save it.
But we also want a star shaping face.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I was not expecting the trade with the Suit Up. That definitely... Oh, okay, another destroyer comes in. And I think at that point you have to pick the destroyer and just hope that your opponent doesn't have lethal on the next attack turn.
Which isn't the most likely thing in the world because you can Meteor Shower 2 of these Burblefish. And I think 2 of the counterfeit copied Burblefishes are already out of the deck. So, I mean, BBoom Teemo might actually be feeling pretty okay here.
Yeah, with how much this deck draws, it doesn't surprise me that we counterfeit copied something and we already drew all the copies. So, yeah, all right. This is going to kill that first destroyer, put Mawile down to 3. That is a 3 that is going to stick. Here we go. We're going wide. And see, and this is what I said before. Even if we get the other Daring Poro down and we play the Ignition, put BBoom down to 11, we have 3, 6, 9, 10. All right, we have exact lethal with 5 units on board, which only equates to 11 damage. So these units really aren't too threatening. And then, like you said, Meteor Shower takes care of 2 of them. So we're good. I think BBoom is in a really good spot here. And correct me if I'm wrong, because God only knows people sneak in some pick-a-cards when they're playing Twiz. There's no draw 3 coming up next turn, right, Boulevard?
Not unless they draw Rummage for turn to pair with that
with the stress testing. Yep.
No, at the moment, Mawile's at the mercy at the top of the deck, and one that is not being pick-a-carded, so only going to be 1 draw available. And gotta say, SJW, that destroyer is looking kind of inevitable in BBoom Teemo's hand. Yep. We might be crowning a champion here very soon.
And, you know, we've been saying it for a couple weeks now. It's always destroyer now. It's Great Beyond is just getting retired, man. Destroyer is just the better pick 9 times out of 10 now.
Okay, this could be something. Kind of depends on the 1-mana spell. And Rummage is pretty much exactly what we were looking for.
Wait, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have exact lethal actually right now. We have exact lethal with Mystic Shot, but now we actually have Atrocity to prevent the lethal.
Atrocity is actually lethal for BBoom Teemo because as soon as you put it on the stack, it +1/+1s your messenger to a 3/3.
You're right. And there's...
Mawile would have to rummage in to get excited.
Yeah, that's really... Do you do that knowing Get Excited? All right, hold on. How many copies of Get Excited is Mawile playing?
We've already seen a couple, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I think... Well, let me pull up the deck.
Oh, I imagine the Suit Up's going to come out as well. Oh, how did this Burblefish again gets a rummage?
There's only 2 Get Excited. Testing. There's only 2 Get Excited, and both have been played.
And I think BBoom Teemo just has to go for it.
Yeah, there's no... Because now Atrocity doesn't save you. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... Oh, no, it still does save you. All right, so...
I mean...
Wait, why... Oh.
Why would you go for the unit instead of the face? And you actually lose here because of Suit Up.
I think... I think BBoom might have just misplayed there.
That's I don't really see another way to call that because there's nothing that's going to stop this. Like Suit Up stops the Atrocity from killing the Burblefish, but doesn't stop you from killing base. Anything that stops this Atrocity, BBoom Teemo could have just won the game.
BBoom is definitely looking at that like, what that feels really bad. I guarantee. So what did I say earlier? I said it sneaks up on you. I think that's exactly what it just did to BBoom there. I think BBoom was not taking into account the Veiled Temple, thought that the 2 was enough to kill the 4/2 Burblefish. It increased to 3 and then realized, oh shit, that sucks. Like I think that's exactly what just happened there.
That sucks, yeah. I mean, it's so wild to me that, you know, BBoom was able to hold on and find this super convoluted lethal in game number 1 and hang on to that one for as long as they did, and then find the win. And then in game number 2, has a fairly straightforward lethal of just atrocity your opponent in the face and just misses it by potentially just not, missing the Veiled Temple trigger.
Wow, that's crazy. I would have liked to see that at the end too, with that Veiled Temple trigger closing it out. But what we do get because of that is a game 3. So let's go ahead and head on into Mawile versus BBoom for game 3.
And it does look like it was the scouts that was banned by BBoom Teemo. That's why the TF was left open, and surprisingly able to pick up a win with it in game number 1 against that Lee Syndex. So, we got our game 3. We've got another Aphelios mirror.
Yeah, Aphelios mirror, but on the side of BBoom playing the Invoke version, and on the side of Mawile playing the recently popularized Tom Kench Aphelios that's been popping up a lot more lately. Tom Kench, the champion of choice to pair with. Actually only playing 2 copies of Tom Kench, though.
I could see that. It's not a champion that you need very often. Generally, it's got some pretty specific matchups it comes down in. This would be one of them where you just want to eat that Aphelios as quickly as you can, although the Veiled Temple does complicate that to an extent. But, I mean, we saw it in DK's hand as well. You pretty much never cast Bayou Brunch.
Yeah. No. And you know, that's why you run 2 copies of something, right? Like you want to draw it, but you don't want to draw multiple copies of it. Yeah. And that's the kind of the thought process behind playing 2 versus 3 versus 1. So we'll see if it pays off here. We don't have any in hand to start. We do have a box to put in hand to start, which honestly generally feels pretty bad because you want to get that with a Crescendum from Aphelios, not in hand. And otherwise a pretty just really low impact hand for Mawile. I mean, we have 2 Burblefish early on as well, which is going to feel super bad into what looks to be a decently aggressive start here from BBoom. We have the Shadows. We're going into possibly a Mountain Scryer early on as well, and we already have the Aphelios in hand with a Veiled Temple developed. This is looking pretty good. And we're back. It looks like we have Serpent, Crescent Strike, and Moonglow to choose from here. And I don't know. I'm really feeling BBoom's position having this Aphelios early with this Veiled Temple already down.
I'm not seeing. No, of course, the Celeste or the Invoke. Not even Invoke. The gun choosing animation made it really hard to see Mawile's hand, but it looks like that Meteor Shower is going to be able to take out the Aphelios, and all of a sudden the board is all evened up and actually in the favor of Mawile. But as you had mentioned, BBoom Teemo has the Veiled Temple advantage, even has like the Invoke advantage. We're going to be able to get down this Mountain Scryer into this Traveler, and things are going to really start to snowball out of control for BBoom Teemo, because Mawile, one of the problems that you can run into with this Bilgewater Targon deck instead of like a PNZ version like we see with Twisted Fate Viz is that without Ballistic Bot, as we are seeing here, you can just get stuck on some expensive Burblefish.
Yeah, overall, the starting hand from Mawile is just really bad. 2 Burble and the in the box supposed to start. Even the Spell Thief, Spell Thief can be really good, but having it paired with so many other useless cards, Spell Thief is only good when there's other good cards surrounding it, and right now that is not the case. And then 2 cantrips and Guiding Touch, just a whole lot of nothing.
I want to touch on what BBoom Teemo did there because I love that. The proactive star shaping. Stop playing it like a heal spell and start playing it like a way to find your win con. I don't even remember what we were casting, but I remember being like, okay, here comes the star shaping. And never mind, they're holding it back for 10 turns and trying to find value out of this as a heal spell, where if you just find an elusive, your opponent dies. And I really like that line of play out of BBoom Teemo.
Yeah, even following it up with the Mountain Scryer, too, to go ahead and get the reduced cost here. I mean, we're going to get the reduced cost written in the stars, which gives us the Diana. This was 100% planned. This is why we played the star shaping. We went Mountain Scryer into written in the stars into a big old Diana that's going to come down maybe probably next turn, which because of the reduced cost, if Mountain Scryer sticks around, guess what? We have Destroyer into Diana on turn 7, which is pretty nuts.
Yeah, and I don't think there's anything that Mawile can actually do to kill the Mountain Scryers since the, buff from the Veiled Temple went onto it, making it a 3/4. Doesn't die to Calibrum, doesn't die to this Boxtopus. We're going to have to try and kill it next turn, but I would imagine that BBoom Teemo's first action of the turn is going to be confirming the Destroyer.
Yeah, I don't see why not. This Boxtopus, I think Mawile too, kind of realizing that there isn't really a way to get rid of this Mountain Scryer. And unfortunately, because of that, there's no way to prevent the Destroyer Diana combo. I honestly thought that when Mawile played the Aphelios, we were going to go for the, not Crescendum, the Calibrum first, to try to take care of the Mountain Scryer, even at 4 health, then pull it with something like that other Boxtopus. Instead, going for the Crescendum, getting the additional Boxtopus, sure, that feels good, but I think the impact of a reduced cost Written in the Stars and a reduced cost Destroyer is far greater than the impact of that additional Boxtopus from the Crescendum.
I 100% agree, SJW. I think that it was just a little bit of an oversight on Mawile's side. Just you bread and butter out this Crescendum into Boxtopus play so often that you don't really, sometimes you do just autopilot a little bit. And yeah, now you get to kill the Mountain Scryer, but the damage is done. The Destroyer is down. We have a 1-mana Diana coming down as well.
4/4.
That's threatening to kill your Aphelios, or at least demand a hush out of you. Things looking pretty good for BBoom Teemo. Can't even continue to aggressively posture by throwing down the Sky Shadow.
Yeah, and I don't see why not. I mean, otherwise you're trying to keep Hush mana open, and there's nothing on board that you really are concerned about hushing right now. So
but you actually get to keep Hush mana anyway because you'll fill your spell mana.
Oh,
with the Sky
that's
Shadow.
right. With the Sky Shadows. So yeah, there's really no reason not to play Sky Shadows at this point. And Veiled Temple already procced.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, because we played the 2 cards. So all right, yeah. So I was like, wait, can we even play the Traveler now? Like, what's going on here? No. So yeah, there's no reason why we shouldn't play the Sky Shadows, and that's going to be a pretty hefty amount of damage. I mean, Mawile does have Star Shaping and a Guiding Touch to heal some of that back up, but still just really no proactive cards from Mawile. And if we can't save, I think you kind of have to hush the Diana, right, to save this Aphelios. You need that Aphelios. That's like the only thing you really have going for you right now.
Yeah, and it looks like we're going to Spell Thief just to get the Gravitum online, stop that Diana, as you had mentioned, save our Aphelios. But, I mean, we are in a bit of a dicey position. Yeah, we have 2 Star Shaping and a Guiding Touch, but, I don't know how many turns of essentially inactivity you're going to be able to take just Star Shaping your face while BBoom Teemo is continuing to beat you down with this Destroyer and encroaching closer and closer to the Atrocity, especially because BBoom Teemo is not gassed out yet. That Traveler can find another win condition that we can throw down on the next turn, and I don't know if Mawile is going to have time to both develop enough of a board to stave off this aggression and continuously run out these heal spells.
Yeah, that Jettison is a very useless pickup too. One of the few 1 costs that is actually not useful at all. Counterfeit Copies at least has some sort of use. Jettison, I mean, I guess if you want to thin your deck, sure, you could argue that, but it's a very minimal use case in comparison to some of the other cards. So it's weird too because Mawile seems like they have the advantage. Like they have lots of cards, lots of options. Fangs is not bad as well. I mean, we have lots of invoke spells. The problem is a lot of these invoke cards are going to be a big mana commitment, which means Mawile's going to fall even further behind on board. So I do like the Burblefish being played here. If anything, more so as a defensive tool right now, as opposed to just trying to be aggressive.
Kind of a whiff on the Traveler, though I guess, if you can actually Written in the Stars into the Aphelios, that's going to feel even better for you. And yeah, just going to take that Written in the Stars right away. But at the moment, I don't think Mawile really has a way to deal with this Destroyer. Not only do we not have just a unit that we can shake down and have survive to pop the Spell Shield, but I believe we're pretty far away from Gravitum as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a little ways. And again, just, not a whole lot of cards on the side of BBoom, but that Destroyer really threatening a lot here. And even if we pop the Spell Shield, yeah, I don't know if there's a way to kill it.
We could definitely see a Nightfall Moonlight Affliction do a lot of work here on the next turn for BBoom Teemo.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, this destroyer's not going anywhere. There's no way to kill it. We can barely pop the spell shield. There is Crescendum and another Boxbus in hand, so we can pull it to deal some damage to it and maybe set it up for...
This Crescendum doesn't pull anything, right?
Oh, that's right, because we drew... Is that the final Boxtopus in hand?
Yeah, because we Crescendumed and played a box all on the same turn. So yeah, that's the last Boxtopus. I mean, this is the punish for building your deck like this. And Mawile, I don't know if they really wanted to get to Severum, or maybe just didn't even think about the fact that all the Boxtopuses were already out of their deck when they played the Gravitum. But, you know, a little bit of an unfortunate line there, not able to get the Overwhelm gun. Just kind of playing a useless one instead. But it does still level the Aphelios.
Yeah, Aphelios leveled up is definitely not... Shouldn't shake a finger at that. Definitely going to get a little bit of work done here, but... I mean, it's not really going to matter if Destroyer is just threatening to close out the game here on the next turn. We have double Hush. I mean, that's a lot of resources expelled from Mawile.
You got to do what you got to do.
But you got to do it to live. And, I mean, honestly, yeah. I mean, we already... Oh, okay, never mind. I thought that was from the Traveler for a second. I was like, no, we already played the Traveler. So, yeah, I mean, that's probably going to be the line that Mawile eventually takes. And... if that's the case and BBoom doesn't draw anything decent like, you know, say an Aphelios, maybe this is where Mawile starts to turn things around.
Maybe. I mean, we are going to get to pop the Spell Shield here, which means that we don't have to commit double Hush. We're only ever going to need a singular Hush to do it. But I do still like BBoom Teemo's position, because if Mawile goes in... I guess it doesn't really matter, because we're not going in with the Aphelios, because the Destroyer can't just block it. But, I mean, we can... Hush something, block it with the Diana. Unfortunately, actually, Diana still doesn't get down. Basically, I just want our Diana off the field so we can play the second Diana with Challenger and actually go with this Aphelios.
Yep.
But, I mean, it's not that bad if you just level the Diana instead. We do have 3 Nightfall cards in hand. We could just do that.
Well, actually using the Hush on the Burblefish here, too, which, I mean... I'm not in love with that either, just because of the limited resources that BBoom has. I don't know if you really could afford to blow a Hush there.
Well, now you set up for Moonlight Affliction lethal.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we could make it so both... okay, we're actually gonna... Alright, yeah,
we have the Nightfall.
Yeah, we have the Nightfall, okay. So...
but, you know, the double silence bug is gone. Mawile is going to be able to hush his own units and declare them as blockers.
So a little bit of a different double Hush than originally intended here, but I don't... is that even enough? I guess technically if you block the Destroyer and the...
I mean, all you have to do is you could just hush your own Fangs and then hush the Destroyer, and that's enough.
Okay, yeah. And you even... Okay, yeah. There's even a Subless Figure, and you even have 2 Star Shaping in hand as well, so there's plenty of ways to live here, I think.
And we even still have Star Shaping mana thanks to that Moon Silver.
Yeah, and so, yeah, that's exactly why we saw that Hush come out from BBoom. So I think that was kind of the last push. And unfortunately for BBoom, because of just running straight into a double Hush, it's not quite going to be enough. Actually, wait, hold on. 7? This still ends up being lethal represented again. But now we have a 4-mana Star Shaping. That's a feels bad moment if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, you thought you had it all figured out, but the 4-mana Star Shaping, and that's the one that was stolen off the Spell Thief even.
That's exactly what I was talking about with cards with certain mana breakpoints. Like, as BBoom, you're like, I got this. He's got 4 mana, doesn't have any heal. If he does have heal, well, actually, I guess technically Guiding Touch would have did it as well, but... Wow.
Did Mawile misclick?
What?
I'm trying to imagine a universe where you take that Cosmic Rays over the Scourge.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Did we forget that the Diana was a 5/5? Did we think it was going to go back down to a 3/3?
Yeah, but even if that was the case, I don't think you care more about removing the Diana and the Traveler than the Destroyer.
We still have to play second Star Shaping before we can play this Cosmic Rays. I am bewildered by this pick out of Mawile.
I mean, maybe the thought is that like it doesn't matter. I don't know.
I mean, you could have just played the Scourge and ran straight into the Destroyer this turn if you really wanted to.
Yeah, and everything else would have gotten buffed too, and
yeah,
especially with how little resources BBoom has. I mean, that actually doesn't even seem like that bad of a play, even though you're committing all that mana. I don't know. Maybe. Nope. I'm at a loss. I can't defend it.
You know what? Speaking of weird decisions, you know what I wanted to touch on at the start of the game that I kind of forgot about.
What's up?
I wish Mawile was running one Zoe.
Oh, as the 6th champion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no Zoe anywhere else in the lineup. Your other decks are Scouts and Twisted Fate Fizz. I feel like, one Zoe wouldn't have been bad.
I mean, no, I don't think so either, right? I mean, early game, if you are able to get it early, it's always good getting those early super cool star shards. And then
SJW, there's a Spring Guardian in this deck. Which, like, I kind of get. You get to, super heal whatever was Veiled Templed or Tomcat. Look, I know you hate Spring Guardian.
Wait, Spring Guardian in Mawile's deck?
Yes.
Maybe I'm looking at the wrong list.
Oh, maybe I'm looking at DK's list. Oh,
okay.
They were both running Tomcat Chefelius.
And so no, Boulevard, I am not ever going to support Spring Guardian. I don't support that card. I don't care what you tell me. It's not good. We're not playing it. It's not happening.
DK was playing it. I just had the old list up. That's why.
Yeah, and guess where DK is? Not in the finals. Okay.
Still wish we played a Zoe.
Yeah, no, I do agree with the Zoe though. I mean, a 1-of doesn't seem bad at all. But for now though, Mawile, not worried about Zoe. Worried about staying alive. And that's an atrocity too.
We got the atrocity. Can we get Mawile to tap below Star Shaping mana, or at least push through enough damage that this is still going to be lethal?
I don't think so. Not this turn, anyways. Oh wait, 3, 4, 5. Actually, this is exactly 5.
Yeah, I was about to say, unless Mawile goes for Sunblessed Vigor into block the Lunari Duskbringer, which is very possible.
Yeah, wow, okay. Yep.
You've been playing around Atrocity up until this point. You might as well continue to preserve as much HP as possible.
It's a good read. Yeah, very, very good read. This might get...
But this is still lethal for BBoom Teemo on the following turn. If, there is no way... There is no way that you lose game 2 to misplaying your Atrocity in the sense that, you had lethal with the +1/+1 from the Veiled Temple and you didn't see it, and then you do that again in game 3. Because as it stands, you can Dusk Petal Atrocity through a Star Shaping next turn.
Yeah. I almost hope that happens now, just so that, because then if that does happen, we know it was just a straight up misplay from BBoom. But he has learned, and it's always good to make mistakes as long as you learn from the mistakes. It's nice to
lose a game to a misplay in game 2, and then in game 3 you say, actually, I learned from 10
not
minutes
making
ago
that
when
mistake
I did
again. Instant feedback loop right there. All right.
So unless Mawile can top deck another heal spell, this is actually just it. UCG BBoom Teemo has it.
Okay, yeah, Supernova isn't going to do it either. We don't have the mana this turn for it. Meteor Shower gonna remove Aphelios, which I guess doesn't really matter at this point, like you said, because of that Atrocity. And yeah.
Well, actually, I mean, I think Mawile just loses anyway, because
the
have
attack.
to try and Supernova.
Yeah, eventually the attack just goes back to BBoom, and we just have way more of an established field.
I mean, yeah, because if you Supernova here and like a Bastion or something comes out, you at least still have the Gravitum. But no, this is it. This UCG BBoom Teemo is your Asia seasonal champion. Learning from the mistake of game number 2, getting the interaction of game number 3, and the Atrocity lethal is here. BBoom Teemo, congratulations. Your Destroyer has finally gotten through to the Nexus, and you are the winner.
The redemption arc, Boulevard. The very short redemption arc from game 2 to game 3 here from BBoom Teemo. Taking it home 2-1 over Mawile.